paying attention. We're back. Summer is like such a like bebop here and there because next week will be the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I'm here, I'm not, I'm here, I'm not. So,
oh, and by the way, on Tuesday next week, we're not
here.
Right.
Me either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, how about that? We got that all right.
Okay, for the one, so we don't have to. I don't have to text you on Monday night saying I'm not coming in, and then you're going to be like, well, actually, I'm not going to be there.
Yep,
So
okay.
Yep. Look at that. We just two birds.
But that would have been a fun bunch of texts,
wouldn't it? Yeah. You'd have been like, I'm celebrating America right now.
Yeah. Really, you're not coming? Come on.
Leave me alone. Okay, so are people celebrating the 4th of July on the 3rd? On the 3rd? Are we doing a long weekend? What is that?
I will start on
today.
I'm going to start on the 1st.
Okay, and that's
Friday.
Friday.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why not?
I've got people talking about seeing homes over the weekend and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll be gone, but I can coordinate. But I think a lot of people are. They're gonna. I think what a glorious long weekend to celebrate America.
Yeah, and you know the thing is I know people that they have to go to work on Monday.
Yeah.
But then get Tuesday off.
Yeah.
And then have to go to back work again on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Come on, people, just give everybody Monday and Tuesday off.
Yeah. We need to be more like Europe and have those bank holidays.
Yes.
Squeeze them in. Some more bank holidays. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Well,
I'm liking the way you're thinking.
I know. As independent business owners, that doesn't really affect us, right?
Right.
But I think it's kind of nice to give people a little more time to celebrate the good old United States of America. So, okay, well, let's get this party started. Because we won't be here next week, we'll make this show extra fun.
All right.
So you can watch it many, many times. So this is Put a Fork in It, Grand Forks' most favorite watched show on Facebook, YouTube, all the things. My name's Courtney Barstead Logan. I'm a realtor with RE/MAX Grand. Excuse me. And you can find me on social media at Grand Cities Living. Twitter at Grand Cities Life. And once in a while, you can find me at 1375 South Columbia Road, Suite G here in Grand Forks. So there's all the things. We get it all out of the way. I am super excited because it is about time we start talking about some monies because it comes up every day with people as we are listing homes and buying homes. I think it's the smoke. Do we think it's the smoke that's got
it's it's bad out there again. The last couple of days it has been.
Yeah, okay. It's
everybody's doing it.
Right? Yeah, everybody's got the like super sorry. If that annoys you, we will make sure to cut that out here so you stick with us. But we are going to talk about not paying attention to the national news here when it comes to financing because I'll just give some examples really quick. We get people that will say, I want to see a house. I'm not pre-approved. I want to see what that looks like first. Not going to happen. We really need you to get pre-approved. Also people saying, do I need to sell before I buy? All the things. And so I brought in my good friend Jen Ekberg from Benchmark Mortgage this morning. I think we've got her on. Oh,
we got new streaming software.
Ooh.
So it looks
I've
like,
got an
upgrade.
Unfortunately, I'll keep working on it here. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
My voice still works.
Yeah, it still works.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. What I could do is put a little card up and that's okay. So we're totally fine.
Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine. And you could even come.
We're moms. We wing it.
We're moms, realtors, and lenders.
Oh,
so
look at that.
Tighten some cords.
I think we needed to jiggle a cord.
Jiggle the cords.
Yeah.
Jiggled something over here.
Technical term right
it's
there.
totally fine. So there she is. And she's not wearing the little cans because she's got a cute little top bun thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get them on.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. So, yes.
Sorry
I love
about
it.
that.
Yes. Dale,
If I take out my hair, I'm 2 inches shorter.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
That's just a problem.
It is true. So I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you.
This is super fun. As always, I like to call my guests in a, hey, what are you doing tomorrow?
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then there's a long pause, and I'm like,
depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's a veteran of this place, so we get her in there.
She's been here, yeah. So she's
here
sometimes
before.
here with her Santa Claus girls. She's sometimes here talking mortgages. So
Sometimes
all the
journey
things.
home depends on the day.
Yeah, journey home.
I just do a little bit of
Oh my
everything.
gosh, why didn't you bring a rescue dog? We should do that.
I don't have one right now.
Let's make that happen. John's like, what? You don't? Yeah, you don't have a Journey Home Animal Rescue right
Not right now.
Okay. Well, something we can work on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
There's always dogs.
Next
I
show.
know.
Next show. Yeah.
Courtney has had me
Yeah.
on when I've held the foster dogs.
So great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I had a
love
guy in here
foster
last week. He says they have like 8 rescue animals,
Oh.
but I think his wife has something to do with Journey Home. He's a beer guy.
He's a beer guy?
He's one of the Brew Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool. If I could have 8 rescue dogs.
8?
Yeah.
He said they had a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we at one time we had 3 rescue dogs and 3 rescue cats. Now we're down to 1 rescue dog with another one and 1 rescue cat.
See, I have 2 of my own, and they're like 14, and they're tolerating less these
Yeah,
days.
my one
so-
cat that we have left is 21
Oh
or
my-
22.
Oh, you got me there, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to
20.
do a small plug for one of my favorite Instagram pages is the Asher House. It's this animal rescue where he gets all different kinds of animal or dogs to rescue, and it's a sanctuary for dogs to you're going to fall in love with it. I can't stop watching it. so.
And if you need an endorphin rush, Google, or not Google, but on TikTok, go Happy Dog.
I'm not on TikTok.
Oh my God, why are you not on
gosh. I know.
TikTok?
Yeah, Dale and
Here
I
we
are holding
go.
out. We're not. Yeah.
I
yeah.
have a TikTok page. It's not like I've uploaded anything, but I have
Yeah.
it so I can watch
I can't.
all the things.
Nope. I can't get sucked in.
I'm going to show you
No.
Happy Dog, and
Yeah.
then you will be sucked in.
They'll be on.
Yeah,
something.
I thought about it, but then when UND banned it from their computers, I
Yeah.
said, no, I better not then.
Yeah.
I better not.
Yeah.
Same. I'm like, what would UND do? I say that to myself a lot.
And my husband's kind of
Yeah.
sad about that.
But then
Yeah.
again, they also changed the logo, so what the hell do we listen to them for anyway?
That's true. I ask myself a lot of questions. What would UND do? You know, because
Yeah, 'cause that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to talk because there's a lot of different things that people don't know, especially with North Dakota, with Minnesota. We throw around a lot of different things. You know, North Dakota housing and USDA lending
We
and
like
FHA
our,
and our
like-
acronyms.
Oh, we
and-
love a good acronym.
Yep, all the acronyms. People think, you know, this is going to be a better loan than another. So I brought my friend Jen in to break it down. We're going to keep it very simple today, but really just talking through what are options for people. And I'm going to put that big asterisk out there. Like, this is, you know, you need to qualify for these. And so it's not for everybody, but homeownership is possible for so many.
Absolutely.
And people just need to, you know, look at that. I get a lot of messages asking me, you know, what would a payment be on this? Contact a lender. Our credits, you know, hasn't been good. Contact a lender. So
I got an app for that.
I got an app for that.
I got an app for that.
I got a person for that.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
So Jen is one of my local go-tos. I always recommend local lenders because they know our community. They know what kind of properties we have. So maybe just introduce yourself, what you do in your role with Benchmark, and then we can talk through maybe some fun stuff.
Some acronyms.
Some acronyms.
We'll talk through some acronyms.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, my name's Jen. I am a lender with Benchmark Mortgage. I have been with them almost 3 years, and I absolutely love it. I consider myself a problem solver. It's pretty much what my terminology or job title should be, is a problem solver. Yeah.
Glorified.
Glorified.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I solve problems with your money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not all of them,
Yeah.
but I try my best.
Yes. So what we've been working through some interesting scenarios. One of which, you know, we'll get people that will come in and say, okay, I have a question. I'm interested in X house. Do I need to sell my house first? And I always think, yes, but let's run it by a lender because not always the case.
Not always the case. Oh, it really depends on your, another acronym, debt to income ratio, your
Yes.
DTI, right? So if you can afford to carry both house payments at one time, you can buy another house. It really comes down to your numbers. How much income do you have? How much debt are you carrying? And we look at that expressed as a percentage, and then we can know more. So yes, sometimes you have to sell, but in some cases you don't. So it really depends on the loan product and how much you can carry as far as debt. But I look at all the options.
So when people, you know, they think like, well, I don't need 2 houses. I'm not doing that. You know, one of the things we talk through is like, let's get your house listed. And what we can do is, you know, present an offer. If this is the house that you want, we can present the offer, you know, with a contingent on selling, you know, but we can continue the process to see maybe you don't have to sell it, or we can go right off the bat. And, you know, someone like John can say, hey, here's what we can do. And then when your house does sell, we'll take those proceeds and put them in, and they'll help you figure that out. Do you take all the proceeds? Sometimes I tell people, hang on to $10,000 because you wanted to do the flooring. What does that look like? You know?
Exactly. So we talk about this option quite a bit with people that are selling after they buy. We can do something called a recast, where they put a large lump sum down and we can recast their loan. So it redetermines their payment with that additional funds down. So that is an option after the fact.
And that goes, so you net $50,000 maybe on your sale. You drop that in, that goes on your principal.
Yes.
So that goes down. So your amount that you're borrowing goes down, which is like magical.
Well, that is like home ownership to the T. Like we
Right.
want all the equity, right? We
Right.
want it all.
Yeah. And then if you take, say, for example, you take from your savings to close on that one home, you can take
You
your
can
proceeds
replenish
and
it.
replenish your.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're going to take all those baskets.
Absolutely. We look at all the options
Yeah.
because, sometimes we look at 401ks, retirement accounts, but then we just put them back and
Yep.
things
Yep.
like that. We look at all the
Creative.
options.
Be creative.
Oh, we are creative.
Yes.
That
yes,
we are.
Yes. Okay, so a lot of people say the North Dakota housing option, and this often gets confused with first-time home buyers and all kinds of options. So can you explain in children's terms?
Children, yes.
the
this
North
is-
Dakota housing option.
So
which is,
North Dakota housing does get associated with first-time home buyers. That is not the case. North Dakota housing is for all buyers. So that's point one.
beautiful.
Beautiful, right? Just because you own a house doesn't mean you can't use North Dakota housing again. So North Dakota housing for our START program, the START program will grant you 3% of your first loan amount. It can go towards down payment or closing costs. It's not going to cover both. Big misconception is down payment and closing costs are all one thing. They're not.
No.
I know,
We
right?
call that cash to close.
I know, with cash too close.
Yeah.
You have to add them together.
Yes.
So while the state can help you, you will still have or need funds at closing. They're a great program. If you live in the house 8 years, you do not pay a dime on those funds. So, I mean, that's free money. Thank you for living in the state of North Dakota. We appreciate you, kind of things.
Yep.
So I look into that when my borrowers need assistance to start their home search.
And I always tell people, they hear assistance or, different. It's not a bad thing. It's, to me, it's free money available to you. And if you think, oh my gosh, 8 years, I don't know if we'll be in this home 8 years. That's okay. It's understandable. What they do is it will be prorated, right?
Absolutely. So I say if you got $8,000 and you live there 4 years, you're going to owe the state roughly $4,000 if you leave after 4 years.
Yep.
And it's not like you're writing a check to the state. It's coming out of the sale of the home, the proceeds. So, and by that time, hopefully you have enough equity in it, right?
Exactly. Yep. And that's why I say
Your
9
home
times
goes
out of
up,
10,
you're making
yep.
payments, you're
You
getting
got
equity.
a bigger job. You're doing, there's
You're
a
moving
reason you're
up.
moving up. Yep.
Moving up.
And generally that's a wash, but at the time it's so helpful.
to get into that
What's
home.
the income level on that? Do you remember?
For one, it's like 96,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it goes up.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and I like to tell people that because sometimes people are, and it's a pride thing, I think, sometimes too, because they're like, I don't need assistance. And it's like, it's for great incomes. Like that's a higher than a median income,
Yeah.
And so not a bad thing. We looked at it with our first home purchase, and I tell people this all the time to do this. So say, what are my options if I went conventional with my own money down, if I went North Dakota housing with
What do these look
that?
like?
Yeah, what does all of that look like? Because at the end of the day, if it's your monthly payment you're worried about, then see what those look like. And, for some, the borrowing that money or getting the grant, if you will, because you're not paying it back unless you leave, is a better option. So that's a good route to go. And that is both FHA and conventional.
USDA
correct.
and VA.
Yes, and VA.
All
Okay.
the things.
All the things. Okay.
All the acronyms.
Whew, okay. So let's talk about with USDA. This is really cool within the Grand Cities because it's based on population of a town,
It
basically,
is,
right?
yep.
Okay. So our neighbors in East Grand Forks, it's a smaller community. Is that 38,000? Does that sound right?
Is that right?
Grand Forks?
East Grand Forks.
New.
Well, how many?
Not 38,000, maybe
Oh.
8.
Is it 8,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're in there then.
Yeah, okay.
You had helped
I'm
your
gonna look it
point.
up.
It really helped your
You're
point.
right, because I saw the population when I was coming back from Crookston the other day, and I was kind of shocked by it. So 8,000 sounds right, but let's not. Courtney doesn't run population numbers. So
It's a great little community to live in.
Yes. So you walk across and you decide, you can go to East Grand Forks, you can go to Thompson, you can go to Mayville, all of Fisher, Emerado. Those are smaller population communities and would qualify for a USDA loan, which is it's
a government loan. Yep.
Yes. So share more about that. 9,045 people.
Look at you.
Look at that. One of those is John.
That was last year.
That was last year. Okay.
Yeah.
So probably 9,040.
9,157.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh.
It's gone
All
up.
right.
Yeah.
So yes, Courtney is right. It has to be a smaller outside city, which is weird to think of an outside city being East Grand Forks, but it does go by population.
Yeah.
But USDA is an awesome product. It gives you the opportunity to put zero down. So you don't have to come up with funds for a down payment, but you still will have closing costs.
Yep.
But you can use, North Dakota Housing with USDA, so you could use both programs together and layer them.
Whoa.
Oh boy, getting creative. Here we go.
Things I didn't know. I didn't know you could double dip.
Yes, ma'am.
Dippity do.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just have to be creative.
Yeah. Okay.
So
okay. All the dip.
Dippity
When
doo.
you dip, I
Dippity-doo.
dip, we dip.
Are you old enough to remember dippity doo? Okay.
I thought it was zippity doo.
Oh, there's that too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
What did you say?
I thought it was zippity doo.
Oh, that's older, yeah. But
Oh, see?
dippity doo is the stuff you used to put in your hair.
Yep.
It was like gel back in the day.
Okay,
Gelin, like Helen McMillan.
Not there.
Yeah, dippity doo.
Okay, so Jen will double dippity do for you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess that's the
In
thing.
East Grand Forks. So if you want to be John's neighbor,
We can make this
we can
happen.
make it happen. Yeah.
So yeah, there's options. You just have to come in and talk to a lender that knows the area, knows the products,
Yep.
what they can use for you particularly. The limitation with USDA is debt to income. Like there's a hard stop on their debt to income, so you can't have a ton of debt when you use a USDA loan.
Yeah.
So, but
You can
we'll
do
make
that.
it work.
Okay, so VA, which I'm surprised by how many veterans and active military members don't know about this benefit, and I think that's just definitely a bad thing that maybe the military is not sharing because this is a benefit that they have earned. So we've got VA benefits and a wonderful loan option for our veterans and active duty members for home buying options. Some don't even know about it, and some think I have to use the VA. And so you will look at VA conventional and kind of see what that looks like because there are some fees associated with VA and whatnot. So VA.
Absolutely. So VA is a great product. It's hands down probably one of my favorite and easiest loans, I guess. I really like them. But VA is for our active duty and retired military members, and it gives them the option to put 0% down. That's always great. It also has no mortgage insurance. So that's always a nice little kicker.
Your monthly payment
Your
is a little
monthly-
less.
a little
Yes,
less, right?
Yes.
On the flip side of that, VA does have a funding fee. So it's if you're buying your first house, it's 2.13% of the loan amount. If you have any VA connected disability, I believe it's like 10% or more, that fee is waived. So that's something that I will help you figure out as far as that, because you'll have a letter, you'll get it on your COE, you'll see all those things. Oh, more acronyms.
Yeah.
Ooh, right?
Yeah.
But VA is great. People think it's a one and done. It's not. You can use it over and over and over again. You can own more than one VA property at a time. We just have to look at your entitlement and see how that goes. And
Yeah.
we got a calculator for
All
that.
the things.
All
Yeah.
the things.
And I always tell people that, it's nice to work with people that are familiar with VA because they know all the veteran side of things. And those are things that, not everybody's aware of. And sadly, when, active duty or retired military members come and they're like, what's a VA loan? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what? Like, where's your benefit book? Let's look through this, or
Let's
is there a
get this.
book? Yeah, so.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
You just have to, pull up their certificate of eligibility and see what
check
they
it out.
got.
Yeah. And with all of these loans, so USDA and VA, and I always tell people when they come, what kind of loan are you approved for? I don't know. Okay. So let's talk to your lender because there are sometimes a little bit more restrictions, which is, not a bad thing. I think people sometimes are like, ooh, this isn't a good thing. They're government-backed loans. And so they're just going to maybe be a little extra particular about things. So we're talking
Safety.
shingles, safety issues. which is fine because those are going to end up being projects for you.
Anyways.
Chipping paint, things like that. Don't lick the walls, my friends. A lot of lead-based paint.
That was a nice little
so-
asterisk you sent in there. Don't lick the walls.
What do you think this is? The 80s?
It is the 80s. Stop licking the walls. Yeah,
we
when
didn't
people
need
say-
no Tide Pods.
Is there
We had
lead-based
walls
paint?
to lick.
Yeah, I'm always like, when someone buys a 1920s house, they're like, well, there's probably lead-based paint. I'm like, I would guess there is, so don't lick the walls. Like,
Yeah.
all I can tell you. Yep. So don't.
That's
do
good
it.
stuff there.
Yeah. Right. Stop licking the walls, kids. Yeah.
PSA of the day.
Yep. So nothing wrong with those. It's
No,
also
they're fixable. I mean,
fixable.
that's easy peasy, right?
Yeah,
You
but
know,
we're
go
not
over
going
the
to get
straight
a
paint.
real. We're not going to try to get a real fixer upper with either of those
Or FHA.
Yeah, or FHA. So
Yeah,
so
you're
things we
probably
can do.
not going to, do a rundown kind
Yeah.
of thing with those for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another thing that always gets me. People say like, "Oh, I don't know if I have time to apply." The
boy.
beauty of the World Wide Web, my friends, is hopefully you file taxes. I'm just going to put that out there because I hope that you do. But if you file taxes, you most likely have electronic copies of many of your documents. What you can do is you can sit in your PJs at night or your undies. I don't care how you live. Do you?
You do
okay?
you.
Yep. And you can upload these documents in your free time. Or, if you're a salaried worker and you got a little time at work and you want to, do whatever, go for it. Like, be my guest. You can do it at
It's
work.
literally a 5-minute application.
It's quick.
It
yeah.
can be desktop or phone. I mean, it's so
easy.
fast.
Yep. And what you can do is, you upload that information. I think the hardest part for me in doing an application is remembering my old addresses. But if you've lived at your
No.
residence for over 5 years, I think.
We need 3 years on North Dakota housing, so it's not
so
terrible.
3 years. If you've been
3
in your house for
years.
3 years, you're good. But if you are for a while, I know we moved 3 times in 1 year. I was like, what was that address? So, if you've got those handy, but you've got these documents, upload them and put that information in, and it's a start. And what they'll say is, we might need some pay stubs or we might need certain things, but get the ball rolling because they can at least get that credit pulled for you and whatnot. So. Also, let's talk about credit. So people say, I don't know if I'm super ready because of my credit being pulled. Not necessarily a bad thing, right?
I always say it's not a bad thing. I said we got to look at where we're starting.
Yep.
Because if we don't pull credit, we don't know anything.
Right.
That is like a big portion of what we need to know. So, yes, we need to pull your credit.
Yep.
Step 1.
Yep.
It's gonna happen.
Yep.
Is it gonna ding your credit? Slightly.
Yep.
It will bounce back.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. But even if you are less than ready to buy right now, we can look at that credit and make you a plan going forward. Are we looking at 6 months, 9 months? What do we need to do as far as your credit history? What is on your credit report that we need to maybe tweak or fix, things like that? It gives us a game plan going
Yep.
forward. Even
Yep.
if you can't buy right now, you could possibly buy, 6 months, 12 months.
Yep.
We have a plan. So
Yeah, I always love this when people look at it and they say, you know what, I don't think I'm ready. But then they'll say, okay, I feel better now that I've visited because what I'm going to do instead of keep my savings, they told me to pay off my $1,000 Kohl's bill, if you will. I can pay off that, not use that credit card. It's going to increase my credit, significantly versus me stashing more cash away or, whatever it might be, or pay off the
Absolutely.
car.
it's not even
Yeah.
so much paying off the debt as getting it below that 30% balance is really important,
And look
right?
at it.
Exactly. So yes, paying off debt is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, hands down, great. But if you can at least get it underneath that 30% threshold, it's going to be viewed in a much better light
Yep.
than a higher card. And people will come in like, well, I used my card all month and then I paid off. I'm like, well, yeah, but when I pull your credit, it looks like
Full.
you have a $1,500 balance on a $1,700 card.
Yeah.
But I paid off every month. Well,
Yeah.
I can't see that.
Yep.
So it's tough for those people that like the points.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But yes, try to keep those balances low while buying a house.
Yep. Yeah. And it's, sitting down with somebody to do that is so helpful because I've had a number of buyers that'll say, this is really cool because I didn't think I would be, but they told me we're going to rerun it in 6 months. This is what's going to happen. And here's my goal. And you can plan that, which is so much nicer than saying like, well, I can't buy a house. I already know I can't buy a house.
I don't want to be
you know?
negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
There's
let's
no
flip
room
this.
for negativity.
Let's make this a positive.
Yes.
So when I started at Benchmark, people come in and they're like, okay, we want to do this. There's this girl that has been in my pipeline for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Do it. And she's like, still working on this. I've done this. And like, we update things every once in a while. And she got a new job. We just update.
Yeah.
We don't have to redo everything.
Yeah.
But when that time comes, we're going to repull credit and then hopefully
it.
everything that we've talked about in the past
Yep.
is ready to rock and roll.
Get it to go.
Absolutely.
Okay, so one of my final things is I recommend to people to get various opinions. And I know you always ask, hey, is there anyone I can run for a second opinion, or if there's, whatnot. And I highly recommend that because not all banks or lenders or mortgage brokers are maintained the same. So
Absolutely not.
if we were to do that, if we have our credit pulled multiple times, that is not a bad thing if we're house hunting. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you are granted a protection from the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Got that right?
Yeah.
CFPB. I'm used to saying that,
Yeah.
but they give you a 45-day window to pull your credit with as many mortgage brokers, banks as you see fit to find the right fit for you with only one credit ding. So the credit bureaus recognize that you're shopping for a mortgage and they're not going to ding you every single time. So you have a 45-day window. So that's why I always email Courtney. I'm like, hey, who do you want me to double look at? Like, who needs another look? Because realistically, I want you guys to lend local. I want you guys to live local, lend local, all the things. So just because you get pre-approved online doesn't mean you shouldn't get a second look.
Yep. Yeah. And that's local is so I have somebody that's coming to town. They're pre-approved from a different state because they have a lender. And I said, would you be open to doing something local just to pull that, just to see what it looks like? Because it is better as well if we're in multiple offers that people see who that lender is because they know them, they trust them, they know, okay, the appraisal is going to be ordered right away, all the things.
And
which
when
is
you
really
call
helpful.
a local lender, it's them picking up
It's
the
them
phone.
picking it. Yep.
It's not the next person down the line that has to review your file, update themselves, going, okay, well, this, and this.
Who's this? Yep.
Steps are less likely to be missed.
Yes.
Because I know that person.
Yes. Let's talk about a non-local lender that I had to work with one time, and I had to spend 2 weeks fighting them on the option. They needed me to do a termite inspection, and I had to tell them we
In
did
North
not.
Dakota?
It was in Minnesota, and I had to send them multiple documents telling them, like, unfortunately, it's too cold here. They freeze to death, so we
Yeah.
don't have termites. And they were like, we're still going to need the thing. And I said, I don't even know that I have an Orkin man to call. So if we
I
could
don't
maybe,
even know
that's
who
a
it
very, so it's a very, it's a 4-letter acronym, and it's typically a VA requirement. So.
That's weird. I have aunt and
Yeah.
uncle in Arkansas. They have to have termite insurance.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Have to.
Have to.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
on your mortgage.
Yep.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't
Yeah,
it?
nuts.
I see these pictures from other companies, and they'll show like the termite stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, the HGTV people, they're
Yeah.
like, and then just like hit it with like a little, I'm like, oh my God, the house is falling in.
no, yeah. Once that lender, which they were just like locked in with them, but once that lender was like, he was like, you are right. There are like 2 states, North Dakota and Minnesota, and I said. He goes, yeah, I don't know. I said, would you rather have termites or would you rather have snow? And he's like, termites. I'm like, but the snow's not going to eat your house.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it goes away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, just very
Missing
interesting.
out.
Yeah, missing out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we head into the holiday weekend, and I call it the weekend because I think we should all.
I think we should
take
get
a little
Monday.
extra, yeah, take a little
I'm
time.
on you.
What I want to encourage people to do is like, if you're chewing on it, if you're popping online and looking at houses or whatever, maybe take some time this weekend and do that. Put some information out there and say like, okay, now I think while I'm sitting there watching the fireworks, or maybe I have Tuesday off, I'm going to apply, because you can do that online. You can do it anytime, which is perfect. And then we can connect you to the lender if you have more questions. But I always give them a heads up. So-and-so is going to be reaching out or putting an application in. Here's kind of the scenario. But what a wonderful time to do that. And I encourage everybody, if you're thinking now, 6 months, year, let's start the process.
Start the process.
Start the process. It does not hurt you to start the process so you know where you sit with things.
Absolutely. And realistically, if you're looking at houses online, you should be pre-approved, because I currently have one that was late to the game. They're like, hey, I found a house. We're putting in an offer. And I'm like,
What?
we haven't even talked yet.
Yeah.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
And they lost the house because we couldn't get documents uploaded quickly enough, and they couldn't find this, and they couldn't find that. And then offers were due, and that house is gone now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, time is of the essence. So if you're looking at Zillow and things like that, get
Look,
pre-approved.
Yes, we by the pure magic and grace of God, I say we had one together recently, and Jen was able to get them pre-approved. It was not an easy
At midnight?
thing. Yeah,
At midnight?
It was a quick, and she was flying and all the things, but. I said, if this is the one you want, here's a person to call, and it got taken care of. We don't always like to pull midnight deals, but we know what needs to happen, and if it can happen, we'll make it work. So that's fantastic, and to do that.
Yeah.
And yes, I had someone just ask me yesterday, do I actually need a pre-approval letter to submit an offer? You do.
Yes,
You absolutely do. So we can't just, wing it, especially in multiple offer situations.
Absolutely. You're not going to win.
You won't win.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not going to win.
You won't win. No, you're definitely not going to win. And it's also, for me, it's very hard to put forth a good faith offer saying, I think my client has this money available. So, yeah.
I would much rather have a conversation.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Let's,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like to talk. Courtney likes to talk.
Yeah.
We can converse all day.
We can do this all day. So,
Yeah.
okay. So if anyone has questions, you're currently shopping, you want a second look, anything like that. And again, you're not locked in, I know, for either of us. If you ever have questions about homes, you want to reach out to Jen and just ask, hey, I have a mortgage question. She's not locking you in for the next 30 years to be her client. So just reach out, ask a question. Happy to answer those. I know we both are. And available really
I'd much
anytime.
rather them ask me than Google.
Yes.
Oh
stop-
my gosh.
Yeah. Stop using the Google machine, my
Stop
friends.
using the Google machine.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
You're going to go down a rabbit hole and
Absolutely.
still not come out a licensed real estate agent.
No. And even if you are a licensed real estate agent, sometimes you're like, what? Yeah.
Where did you hear that?
Yeah. Well, I want everybody to take a little nugget from this. So I hope this was helpful. Hopefully we gave some more information. I know John is now well informed about East Grand
taking
Forks.
notes.
Heck yeah.
He's so excited. And we know how many people live in East Grand Forks. So that's a nugget that I'm going to take away.
Perfection.
I'm just a walking picture of knowledge.
Oh, every day.
Yeah.
Every day he is.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, I want to wish everyone a happy 4th of July. Happy
Absolutely.
birthday, America. And too cool for British rule right here. That's us.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Like
so,
that.
yeah, that's us right here. We will be off next week, but then we'll be kicking it back July, what is that, 11th? July 11th.
Yeah.
Good times.
The 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
you.
Yeah, I know. I just added 7 to the 4th.
You're smart.
I tried. Yeah. Don't.
Pick Courtney. She's got math skills.
No,
Yep.
I don't. No.
Mad math skills.
Math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining me, Jen.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. And make sure that you put a fork in all of your 4th of July fun. Have a great day.
Move with the rhythm, shake it up.